Welcome, guys. We're in a podcast episode number 3. We're here with Cole Walliser. What's up, Cole?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Very well. Very excited to be here. Glad this worked out, actually.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get you here for a little while, but you're always traveling.
Yeah.
You were here, 3 years ago or something like that?
Well, yeah, we're trying to figure it out. I think I was here in 2022, kind of right when I got the tank. Saw the shop. Amazing. I've been wanting to come back, so glad that it worked out.
Nice.
So, yeah, Lou was actually just asking me how we ended up meeting. You send us a DM on Instagram, something about corals or...
Yeah, I think I just started following you guys. I was out of the hobby for a number of years, and then I was sort of like getting interested in it again, and then it was like the landscape had changed because I got out in like 2016. I tore down a tank.
Yeah.
And then, in like 2020, like pandemic, I'm looking stuff back up, right? So I'm like watching videos, learning some more, then start realizing that obviously a ton of accounts have like Instagram. So I start following some. I think I just followed you guys and maybe like liked a few things, commented a few things, and we started messaging each other. And that was kind of the introduction.
Gotcha. And then you ended up hiring us to set up your, 200-gallon tank, I think it is?
200 gallon. Yeah.
It's been running now for like 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Peninsula, right? The style.
Yeah, Peninsula tank.
That's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
5 by 30 wide, 24 high, I think.
Yeah.
So had some issues recently in the tank, but it's back up.
Yeah, it's getting back up. It was doing phenomenal, say, 4 months ago. Kind of the best it had ever been.
Yeah.
I started, obviously trying to do good husbandry and take care of things. But I started dialing in all of the, what am I thinking of the word?
Parameters?
No, not parameters.
Trace elements?
Trace elements, yeah. So starting to do like ICP tests and really trying to like dial those in. And as I was doing that, it started to really like colors really took off and started looking really good. But because I travel so much, I'm not sure 100%. I mean, essentially I had a tank crash.
Yeah.
Lost a number of things, but
Pretty bad. It was pretty bad when I saw the pictures.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah. So I think what happened was my NEM left the rock, got caught up in the power head, and then just kind of like nuked everything. I probably lost like 50% of corals and like maybe 20-30% I lost like a couple fish.
That's a reefer's nightmare.
Yeah. You hear about it, and then to go through it, you're kind of like, okay, like I know this happens, but obviously it's still sort of like challenging. But it's been a couple months and getting things back on and stuff. Corals are growing back now. They're coming, looking a lot better. So we're getting back into it.
Yeah. I think our listeners would like to hear, you travel so much. What do you do when you travel? Because you're gone so much from your reef tank. Like, what do you do when you're gone?
Yeah, I have basically like a fish sitter that watches the tank. I've trained her sort of like she's not like a reefer, but she knows sort of like how to identify when things are sort of going bad or something's not looking good. So she'll sort of notify me. But like in the instance of like a tank crash, like she's not really well versed enough to like manage that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that became a bit of a challenge. But I also have Jesus, who you guys introduced me to.
Yeah.
He's
Great
around,
guy.
so it's like when I need him, like some extra manpower to come help with the tank, he comes in and does some stuff. But I do most of the water changes and most of the maintenance and things myself. So
Nice.
What's the longest you usually leave the tank by yourself?
Oh, I mean, it really depends. Like, because I leave for work, and so sometimes jobs are like, like I'll have a shoot on one day, so I'll be like gone 2 days before, maybe a day or two after. But so, I was gone. For last November, I was gone like the whole month. I was in Saudi Arabia for almost a week. I was in Bangkok for almost a week. Then I was in Australia for almost a week.
Oh, wow.
So I was gone for like I was literally gone the whole month. So that was quite a long time. It really varies. Obviously, I try not to go away too long, but this is how my work operates. So it's like I don't have much of a choice.
Right. And you have the Apex controller, right?
I do, yeah, which I check all the time, and that's been super reliable, super helpful.
Yeah.
I do love that piece of tech, so it's really, really cool.
Yeah, your system was pretty automated, if I remember correctly. We put everything you can possibly put into a reef tank.
Pretty much. It was like, probably it still is cutting edge. We only set up in 22, but I'm also I love gadgets. I love tech. So combining all of this into the tank has been really, really cool.
Nice.
So Cole, take me back a little bit. How long you been in the hobby? How you get into it?
My first tank was 2008. Back on the forums like Reef Central, Nano Reef. I don't even know how, I've always just been fascinated with the ocean and, just like, I just always really just enjoyed it. Like whenever going to aquariums, just like really love it. And then I guess with internet and just learning that I could have a tank. And I think the thing was like I'd always sort of wanted one, but growing up, it's like you just have these huge saltwater fish tanks. And me just moving to LA, like I just didn't have the space or the money to do so. But then I sort of discovered that like a nano reef was a thing. Like you could do like a smaller tank and like have success, grow corals. And so when I realized that, I was like, oh, this is a thing I want to do. So I got a 30 gal JBJ all in one.
Nice tank.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
I remember that tank.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I started modifying it, put a little Tunes skimmer in the back.
Yeah.
I had a AI LED light like early.
Oh, so you swapped out the light?
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So I started doing a bunch of modifications to that. And then had a lot of success. Probably, I'm trying to think of exactly how long I had the tank up. A couple years, I would say. Maybe 4 years.
So 2007 to 2011?
2008.
2012, something
12, I would say.
12, okay.
Maybe 10, maybe 3 years. Because I remember when I bought a house and I was like, okay, now I can upgrade. You know what I mean? I have more space now. Like I moved out of an apartment, got a house, and then I got a tank. I got a 70 gallon. So, like not crazy big, but a lot bigger. And this is just a more of a traditional tank stand kind of a thing. Had like T5s on that. Grew that and did really well, but then I moved and then I just started traveling like a ton. And I was actually going away on a 3-week trip. I had just moved from Hollywood to Santa Monica.
Okay.
And I hadn't really like found like a good tank sitter on that side of the town. And like work was like super busy, which was great, but the tank was just like not getting the attention it needed. And I was about to do a 3-week trip for like a really big job, and we were in prep, and it was like super stressful. So I literally just like I was like, I just need to I need a break. I listed it. Someone came, they took the whole thing down. I was like, you guys get it like super. I think I sold it for like $800.
Wow.
And I had like
fire sale.
Yeah. ATI had tons of good coral. Like I had a Satosa that was like this big. Yeah. I just was like, I need to get it out. I was just like, it was causing me too much stress.
Yeah.
I didn't have the support because also I had a roommate both at the house and at it. We had another apartment after.
Yeah.
So like when I was gone, he would just like feed the tank and it was easy. Then I moved living by myself and I'm just like, it was just too challenging. So yeah, $800 they came. I was like, you guys got to get it by the end of this week. People came obviously. Took it out.
Yeah.
And then tankless from 2016
withdrawals.
Yeah, I mean at first it was sort of like I was just sort of like I was so focused on work, but there's always sort of like you're thinking about it. I'm like visiting different aquariums. I'm looking at different things. You know what I mean? And then when I sort of became a little bit more settled, I was like, oh, maybe it's time again to get another tank. And then it was with moving too, because I remember when I first met you, I was in my old apartment in Santa Monica. Yeah. And I was like, it's not big enough, because I was like, now I want like a decent sized tank. So I was like, okay, well if I move, then I'll get it. And then I moved, and we got it.
So from the JBJ tank, did you get another tank after that?
Yeah, I did 70 gallons.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah. So I had 70-gallon tank for I guess like maybe 4 years, and then took it down to 20.
And that's the one that we saw pictures where you have the big anemone.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Which I bought an anem for like $100, and it was beautiful. It was like the most perfect red ever, like just really vibrant color and just really good, like it was like gorgeous. And then it started splitting, and I would sell these for $50 like nonstop. I would just list them on Reef Central. People would just come by and just buy those all the time. It was great.
Nice.
So you're slanging corals back in the day.
Yeah, I was fragging stuff for sure. I was like, because some of the stuff was like growing up pretty big. So, and I knew, and I'm still like sort of like building my career. So it was like, bro, it's like I can sell a few pieces of coral and like go buy new stuff. And I was going to a bunch of the shows and like picking up frags and stuff. So I was in it, you know.
I think so many people get into the hobby, just thinking they can reproduce this corals and make a living. It's kind of like, I can have a hobby and I can pay for it while fragging some of these corals. And I think everyone gets deeper into it because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of draws you in, the chance that, hey, I got fun of my own hobby, Yeah. Not many hobbies you can do that with, No,
I can't think of any that you can sort of like make a little bit of a profit by doing the thing that you love doing, you know what I mean? So it is enticing, but it is tricky. Like when it gets to like, it's one thing to like sell some corals here and there for a little bit of a coral fund, but it's another thing to like try to scale and actually have it be profitable with all the gear and like time and then the customer base. Like it becomes crazy, you know what I mean? So the little hustle like frag here and there to like make a couple $100 is great, but then trying to go above that, it's like challenging. That's like what with what you guys do has been so crazy to see how you guys have scaled over the years. It's like it's quite impressive. I was telling my friends that are here, just like the scale of like you guys have always been in the cutting edge of like all the tech and like just like farming and fragging and stuff. So like that's I guess kept you guys ahead and made it possible to scale the way you have.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy, but with passion, everything's possible, man. You know.
Patience, a lot of patience.
Yeah, a lot of patience and love for the corals, I guess.
A lot of passion,
So, Cole, how do you get into, per se, the Hollywood lifestyle of working in Hollywood? How did that start back in the days?
Yeah, I mean, I am from Vancouver, Canada, so I grew up there. I started filmmaking as a kid. I just always loved having a camera. I used to shoot, I used to skateboard, so I used to shoot my friends skateboarding. We'd edit little videos together, and I got my taste of filmmaking through that. Kind of did it as a hobby through college, university, but in university I got more serious with it. I bought a good camera, got a good computer, and then I was kind of just the idea, maybe I can do something, maybe this could be a career. And I was kind of I at least owe it to myself to try. You know what I mean? I was like, I wasn't sure, like, okay, maybe I can make it, maybe I can't, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, at least give myself like 2 years after graduating to like try this and like focus on it. So I started building up my sort of like my skill set, my client list, like doing tiny jobs for like $100, like
Yeah.
with a camera.
Grinding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as things started going well, I kind of like was like, okay, maybe this can be a real thing. But then at the time, this is 2006, I was like, I gotta go to Hollywood. Like social media wasn't even a thing when I started like making videos, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I gotta get a lawyer, visa. I got all that stuff, and I moved to Hollywood in 2006.
Wow.
And then same thing when I got there, I'm like, okay, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I moved to LA to direct, to like make videos, make films. And I think it's a little different me coming from Canada, because I had to hire a lawyer, I had to get like a sponsor, I had to do all these like logistical things. It took a lot of time, effort, and money. It's like expensive to get a lawyer. And you have 3 years. So I'm like, I'm here for 3 years. And like sink or swim, like whatever happens is gonna happen. But I was like, I'm at least giving it 3 years. I think it puts a little bit more pressure, almost in a good way.
Yeah.
Like if you move from another state, it's like going home is always a possibility.
Yeah.
But like, there's no way I'm spending like 10 grand on a lawyer and then going home after like 8 months.
No going back. At
Yeah,
that point.
I'm like, I'm here for 3 years.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
I think like whatever happens, happens.
It wasn't an option to fail.
No, it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
you got here, and I'm sure you did a couple little jobs here and there, but when did you finally feel like you got your breakthrough?
I mean, there's a couple moments. Like I think my real big break was working with Pink. This is in 2009. So this is like 3 years after I moved. I did some stuff with Miley Cyrus in 2008, which was really cool. We did these like online dance battle videos, which were like fun. But this wasn't really like a job. It was really more like a bunch of friends getting together to do these videos. It was with John M. Chu from Step Up and Miley and her crew, and we did these like dance battle videos that were online. So that was like my first job of note, where I could, and it like did its rounds on social, like early YouTube.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that gave me confidence, where I could meet someone like, oh, because it's like you tell someone you're a director, and the first thing they ask is like, well, have you done anything I've seen?
Yeah, yeah.
And when you're starting up, you're like, no, I haven't done anything you've seen. Of course not, right? But at that point, I was like, oh, maybe I have, right?
Yeah,
and I would start to say that, and people were like, oh yeah, cool, I saw that. You know what I mean? And so that gave me like a little bit of confidence, but that didn't necessarily like open doors. Though that kind of in turn led me to directing some stuff for Pink. And then that kind of really opened doors, because I started working with her. I ended up working with her for like 8 or 9 years, for a long time. And then I worked with her manager, Roger Davies, who manages Cher and Sade and Tina Turner and all these like icons. And so I worked on their properties and their tours and things too. Then I started working with the tour director of Pink, this guy Baz Halpin, who went on to direct literally like every single show, like Taylor Swift's tour, like all these people, and brought me on for a lot of stuff.
Nice.
So he brought me on to do Katy Perry, and then Katy Perry and Pink became CoverGirl, so I started directing stuff for CoverGirl.
Yeah.
So it all kind of like spread from there. So, but I kind of give Pink, whose real name is Alicia, like a lot of credit for giving me a chance, because I was like a kid with a camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just kind of doing some BTS, and then she had me direct some like real stuff for her.
Yeah.
So a kid with a camera and short hair.
Yeah, short hair back then, for sure.
So we got to ask the question, when did the hair became wild?
The hair was probably always wild, but just couldn't tell when it was short. I think I started growing in 2013.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have curly hair.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I feel like I should grow it out before I lose it. That was kind of my thought. You know what I mean?
Became your identity.
Yeah. It
Trademark,
became my
almost,
identity for sure.
yeah.
Because it was sort of coincided with like me doing all the Glambot stuff, which is like me on camera.
Yeah.
Which prior to that, I was never on camera. I was always behind camera, always just like directing, creating. But then even when I started showing like the behind the scenes of the Glambot, the intention wasn't like to put me on camera. I was just I was in my mind, I'm like, I'm showing the celebrity and their interaction, and then they're like final Glambot. But sort of unbeknownst to me, I was as much of a part of that content as the celebrity, which was like never my intention. It sort of happened organically. But it was really cool, because it's sort of like, as social's growing, it kind of, put my face and my hair kind of like front and center of this content, and it became sort of, like my brand after that.
And it opened a bunch of doors, I'm sure, at that point.
Yeah, as like social started to grow, it like there's a lot of doors that open, just because of like, you have this ability to showcase brands and different things. It's like I have a advertising power in a sense, where I have this audience that I can sort of monetize, and I can do jobs. It's like even me as a director can benefit, because it's like, hey, Cole, come direct this thing. I'm going to talk about it on social. So there's like added value. But now we even like integrate it, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to direct this thing. I'm also going to like do like 2 posts about it, and we're going to do like some other integration. So I just have more things of value when it comes to like creating content and doing a job, essentially.
A lot of the added value you offer when you do those jobs.
Because of the audience that sort of was built through doing Glambots and content and stuff.
great.
Definitely different. And earlier you mentioned you're from BC, Vancouver. I was just got back, actually. I was doing some videos over there. I'm telling Lou how beautiful of a place it is, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Nick, if you're watching, in the summer, not in the winter time. She's a big fan of the place. I mean, obviously, you say she's biased, but same thing you're telling me.
Yeah, Vancouver is literally, I mean, I'm also biased, but it's like literally the most gorgeous place ever.
It's incredible.
I've traveled a lot, and when I come home back to Vancouver and British Columbia, it's just like, it's so beautiful, clean, people are nice. It's quite a special place.
Super nice people.
Yeah, they're super nice. Yeah, everybody's super
it's
nice.
A thing.
Yeah. I could see myself spending June, July, and August there every single year, not wanting to leave.
You should.
Incredible, man.
Yeah.
So me and Lou went to Porsches. You got a Porsche recently.
I do. I got a 911T, 991.2 911T about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I always wanted a 911. Was just sort of like, it was just kind of like always a little out of reach, and then finally I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah.
You've been tracking it.
Yeah. So as soon as I bought it, I was like, well, I gotta go to the track. Like this is like why you buy a 911. There's no way I'm just gonna drive around LA in it. I was like, I'm going straight to the track. So I joined up with this group called SoCal Drivers Club. They hosted like a beginner's day, which was awesome. So you do like classroom lessons, you do on-track exercises, and like go back and forth throughout the day. You like 5 times, like 5 sort of modules about accelerating, braking, cornering, grip. Like you learn all the fundamentals of like car dynamics. And then at the end of the day, you kind of can like go out on track and go sort of as fast as you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And that was super, super helpful because it really gave me confidence. I think if I just like showed up to a track day, was like, it'd be terrifying. Like even with that, I was like still terrified to be on track with like other fast cars.
Sure.
Didn't want to get in the way. Like wasn't just still like wrapping your head around how track days work is like kind of intimidating.
Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, no, very much. It's very intimidating.
Even the go-karts are when you do the fast go-karts. I can imagine that.
The thing about it though too is that like it's scary because it's like there's people that are out there that are fast and like serious. But like off track, everybody's so nice and they understand like it's a really sort of a small community.
Yeah.
And because safety is such a big factor, I find with the right group, there isn't room for much ego. Like I do hear about like people having big egos and like getting mad or whatever. But like the group that like SoCal SDCs for short has put together, like really just like good guys that are like down to support and like are helping other people like get faster, enjoy their time. So that's been really, really good. But now that I have, 15 or 20 track days under my belt, it's like, it's quite comfortable. And I know sort of where I am in the pack and I can like slot myself in at the right time. And I know what to do when someone's like creeping up and like riding you, you know what I mean? Like know how to get out of the way. Yeah. So it's been really fun. And so, just looking forward to more tracking and
you have to be mature, right? I mean, I'm sure you can't be there acting
like
a kid.
You can't be a hothead. You know what I mean? Being a hothead is just going to make you crash. It's not helpful, right? So, but I mean, they exist. So you do have to watch out, right?
Cool.
Yeah, true.
So, Cole, going back to corals, what are some of your favorite corals?
Whoa, favorite corals?
I mean, for the most part.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I go through phases too. You know what I mean? Like, there's been periods where, like,
I think we all do.
Yeah. Zoanthids. It's like there's so many colors and like they're so cool and unique.
Yeah.
Like, those are really, really cool. I mean, and then like LPS is just so varied, right?
Yeah.
So like always like into like euphyllia, like hammers and torches and stuff. But then SPS, like I don't know. It's like it's such a rewarding challenge when you get that right. And I do think that like an SPS tank really just like looks like a Reef more. You know what I mean? And so there's that's super appealing too. I mean, I would say probably overall like SPS is my favorite.
The most challenging, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Nothing easy.
I like to be masochistic about it. You know, it's just like giving yourself a headache, just trying to make it happen. But it is, you know, when the tank is dialed, it's like it's quite rewarding. Like, and and it's great.
Nice.
So you were here. We said what 3 years ago?
22.
I think in 2022.
For Reef Palooza.
I came for Reef Palooza, and then I visited the shop.
So 3.5 years then.
I guess.
Whatever,
Probably 3.5 years. Yeah.
Wow.
3 and change.
Yeah.
So how different the place look?
I mean, things are grown out a lot more. I mean, well, you have the new tanks too, right? So
the 4,000 gallon tank,
which is insane. So I definitely followed along the build on that. I watched all the videos in that. I was super, super excited. And as you guys are doing, I was like, I got to go down and check this out. You know what I mean? So that's like a huge addition. And then even, I don't know. All the tanks are looking great. And I think even like the lagoon is like way more full because I think, you know, it was still a little new. I mean, it's also a huge tank. So
even
like
the mangrove.
Yeah, the mangrove is way bigger. Like it had a couple twigs when I first came. You know what I mean? And now it's just this giant tree in there.
Yeah.
So
that's actually from Julian Sprung. We drove down and picked it up from him. So he grew it on his back porch.
Yeah.
I was 9 years old back then.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Now is 14, 15-year-old tree now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's definitely the godfather of mangroves.
Yeah,
for sure. He loves them.
So one thing worth mentioning too, Cole, is when we first met you, I figured, yeah, you have a tank, but a lot of people that are busy, you know, you're pretty known, and I figured just another guy who likes the tank, but is not into it. And as I got to know you more and more, I realized you are pretty into the hobby. You and me, we got together a couple times in LA, and we went to the wholesalers, looking at pictures of your old tank. The way you talk the lingo, you take care of your own tank, you test your water, you do your water changes. It's cool to see that you really have a good passion for the hobby, and it's not just per se a piece of decoration that someone comes and take care of it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I got into the hobby again, you know, like in 2008 when I couldn't buy my way out of any problems. Like I really was like, you know, I was like saving money to buy corals, right? And like trying to just maximize and really being like specific with what I'm buying. I'm like, okay, like I love this one, but it's like $90. I love this one too, but it's like $45. You know what I mean? So like trying to like, you know, I think you really have to love it when you're budgeting, right? Because it's like you can't just like buy all the coolest stuff, like pay someone to take care of it. So, and I do enjoy like the sciencey aspect. Like I do enjoy learning about that and like the water chemistry. Like I'll read the articles about like the chemistry breakdown just to have a better understanding. Because I think that's usually what I tell people, because people are always like, oh, isn't it so much work? And I'm like, it's not that much work. It's a lot of knowledge, but it's not that much work. And like maybe it's a lot of work to learn the knowledge. But I think that like once you understand things, I don't find it like a lot of work. No. Like a dog is way more work. But it does require knowledge when things go wrong, or just to keep things on track. It does require knowledge. So
it's easy to apply it, but you just got to stick to what you know, not veer from it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I noticed that you like to try a lot of different things on your tank. That's for sure.
I do.
Learned that with Cole.
Yeah.
You know what? But the thing is, I always told this to people. I can have a beautiful tank, and I can tell you how to do things, but at the end of the day, people are going to put their own flavor, and it's like cooking. And if we all did exactly the same, the hobby wouldn't move forward. And I think it's important to have different styles per se, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the whatever the je ne sais quoi about a tank, the water, the atmosphere, whatever, the type of food, how often, it just creates a different environment. So even if, you know, I did exactly what you guys do, like it might not work in California so well. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think all of these like nuances with corals, like I just can't keep flower pots going. You know what I mean? They always just sort of, it's like I've tried, I don't know what it is, but just the way my tank is, the way it works, and this sort of like happens. So I think that everybody sort of has their own sort of identity to their tank. And I think that understanding the basics of how to take care of it and then sort of applying it the way you best see fit is the best way for your tank. Whether you're doing no water changes and testing and doing additives, or doing religious water changes all the time and not dosing, like there's more than one way to do it. And it is really like what works for you. But like, again, having the knowledge to understand sort of like where, because there's pros and cons, like no water changes, pros and cons to religious water change, right? But like you both can have success. So it just depends on like the person and the environment, I guess.
Yeah. Are you into water changes or not too much?
Yeah, I try to do them as best I can. Yeah. Because for me, it's almost like less work. I think that like to do a no, I mean, I've never done a full like no water change system. Just kind of scares me for, because I in my mind I'm like, there's things that you're not testing for that are building up. That's what I think, right?
Yeah, what is that? Yeah.
What is it? And like over time, it's just like, is there stuff creeping up that's just gonna like crash? You get like old tank syndrome, and then it's just like it's donezo, right? So I just think that like water changes is like a good reset, and I think just like a good practice. And I've devised the system the best that I can to make it really easy. Like I have these Rubbermaid bins. I have 2 pumps in them. It's like I know exactly how much salt to put in, and I try to do I do it in a way that is like the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I won't do it.
It's true. Yeah. You got to make it easy for yourself, or you'll skip it.
In my previous tank, I just didn't have the same kind of like smaller buckets and like janky old pumps. And I was just like, I would just not do it because it's just a hassle.
Yeah.
But now I have like a little float valve on my RO. I like just like, I know where the water line is. I put the float valve there, turn it on, 2-3 hours later, it's done. I know exactly how much salt, mix it overnight. Half an hour to change in the morning, and like it's done. Stuff goes away. So I just make it easy.
You love your automation, and
well, because it's out of necessity, right? Like I know some people like to do a lot of things manually because they enjoy that process, and it's not that I don't, but it's just like I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And so in order for me to take care of the tank the way I need to or I want to, it has to be automated, or it's just not going to get done. Like I'm not going to dose. It has to be automated. You know? So
that's.
You have the Apex you mentioned, right?
Do you have the Apex? Yeah.
You're dosing with that, or?
Dosing just alkalinity and calcium. I just sort of test magnesium with the Trident.
Yeah.
I dose Kalkwasser and skimmer, and that's it. I don't run socks.
You using Salifert for the test kits, or what are you using for the test kits?
Just the Trident.
Trident.
Yeah.
Trident.
I do have I think it's Red Sea. I mean, I do have some Hana testers. And then I do have like Red Sea for just to as like a comparison, because when the tank was like crashing, I was like, maybe the testing is like whatever.
Yeah.
So I bought other kits. I just like test them against each other, and turns out I was just doing things wrong. It wasn't the test kits.
Yeah. You ever try ICP test, like sending it out?
I do. I actually just got one in. I sent one before I left.
Okay.
Yeah, just to sort of test, because I've been dealing with this issue with like things crashing. But it's getting back on track. I mean, nitrate and phosphate is higher, but it's like, trace is in line, and so it's all coming back online. So yeah, I'll do ICPs. I think I bought like 8 things, 8 ATIs just from like bug resupply, just so they're sitting there. And like whenever, because it's like before I used to like buy one, and then I'm like, oh, I need a test. I'm like, I gotta order whatever. So now it's like anytime I want to do it, I just like fill the vials, send it off, and I'll get a test. And
how long does that take to come back to you?
Maybe just over a week.
Okay.
I think it also depends on what time you ship it, because I feel like they ship it to Germany on like Wednesdays. So if I test on like Sunday, ship it Monday, it gets to them on Wednesday. Maybe they get it in Germany Friday, and then by the next Monday I have a thing. But like if I ship it on like Thursday, they're not going out to. I don't know exactly, but like it varies. But like under 2 weeks for sure.
Okay.
Typically, I think maybe a week.
Good to know. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done one of those.
Yeah. I find them really helpful, because it's like, I don't trust myself with anything. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'll give it to them, and they get a full accurate reading on what to do.
Smart.
And they've been improving. Actually, on the last one, it's like they had a bunch of different like recommendations for dosing to fix it. Like sort of how many mLs to like dose, but like over how many times. Like 3 doses of like 15 mils for like Montebellum or whatever. And I was like, okay. So yeah, it's been helpful.
Nice. Great.
So I got another question a little bit outside of reefing. So you're a big coffee person.
I am a big coffee person.
I've been to your house multiple times. And every time I go there, you got a couple machines, usually like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee guy, but I can tell that you're definitely someone into coffee. And I know a while back you were trying a company called
Cafe Cole Walliser.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah.
And I got a couple T-shirts of that or something along the lines. And now you've been working on a different brand. Can we mention that?
Yeah. So I have a new brand. So Cafe Cole Walliser was like a nickname of mine, and I basically just kind of like for funsies like started this little brand, made a little logo.
Yeah.
As my following on social was kind of growing, I was like, oh, maybe I can like do a thing to like have a product to like sell. And so we kind of launched during the pandemic, and it was like fun because like I wasn't working much, and like it was just like this cool little passion project. But it got to the point where I was like, okay, it needs to be either a thing that I can scale or it needs to go away, because it was like kind of taking time, but I couldn't really scale it. So I decided, okay, we're gonna sort of scrap that, like take what I learned on that company and then like rescale for like a new company. So the new company is called Creo Coffee, and the whole idea is to promote creativity with coffee. So the idea is like it's fuel for a creative mind.
Yeah.
So we sort of are like, I'm trying to build a community of people that like get up in the morning, they have their cup of coffee, and they go do their creative pursuit.
Yeah.
So even if it's like re-aquascaping your tank, or like writing your script, or like go editing your photos, a lot of people wake up and they use caffeine as like a fuel for their creativity. So like this is kind of like the angle and the MO of the company. We've been working on it for like a couple years now. We had a bunch of issues with, I was like working on like literally 0.02 millimeter lines on like the bag design for like printing things. It's just like the logistics are just like crazy. But we submitted our artwork for the bags to be printed a few weeks, maybe like 2 months ago. So they're like almost going to be done. So I don't have a firm launching date, but it's feeling like it's going to be in September, maybe October, like this fall, I guess.
Okay.
And in the meantime, because of like all the things that have been in prep, we've designed a bunch of other things. We have this shirt. High push.
Yeah.
High push
nice
is
shirt.
like a move I use on the Glambot. So it's
Yeah.
a camera move on the red carpet. So I say like high push a lot. So it also just means to like keep pushing forward and like keep working hard. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this is like our first little merch drop. We have like socks. I have brew kits. I have mugs. All sorts of fun things coming. So yeah.
Well, you got to send us a little sample box.
Oh,
Not
I
for
will
me,
s-
but
try
Lou's a
that.
coffee
Oh,
junkie.
Yeah, I will send you some coffee and a little gift pack when we fully launch for sure.
Yeah. What's the social for that?
It's Create Creo.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Because it's all about creating your bright idea.
Nice. I love it.
Actually, I got one more. I don't know if you got one more, Lou, but I got one final one. Cool.
Good.
So you've been telling me you've been writing for a while. How's that going?
Always good, but always challenging as well.
Yeah.
Writing is one of these things that's like really difficult, but like when you get in the flow, it's really enjoyable. And so like my career has predominantly been like short form commercial work, but the dream has always been to like narrative features. So been working on a bunch of different short films, different features to like develop to like direct. So that's been like the big project in between doing other shoots, doing coffee,
Oh, you got a lot
taking care of
going
the
on.
tank, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Definitely not a lazy man.
Tracking the car, so a lot of things, but always trying to make it a habit and write at least every day for an hour or something like that. So
Cool.
that's kind of the plan.
Yeah, it was cool when we went out to California. I think to see you, me and Vic were sitting next to each other, and I was watching the movie Dog, and I go, "You're not gonna believe there's Cole's in this movie."
Yes. We didn't know we just ran into it.
I have a little role in Dog, which is really fun.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Good movie. Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
Cool.
All right, cool.
Well, Cole,
Dude,
thanks, buddy. Appreciate
thank
you
guys for
stopping
having
by.
me on. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Always good chatting. Always good
Absolutely.
hanging out. And of course, checking out the shop is always really cool
Yeah.
to be back in here.
Love
So
it.
It will be nice to see you next year for Reefapalooza Orlando, maybe if you can make it.
let's make it happen.
All right.
I'd love
Cool,
to.
man. All right,
Take
buddy.
care.
All right,
Awesome.
thanks. Take care.